What's going on YouTube? My name is Andrew, aka the Overly Critical Critic, here to talk to you about a topic that I don't know how many people know about this, but there's a new Pokemon game coming out this year, It's called Pokemon Sun and Moon, and today they just released some of the most craziest information that I honestly think has ever been associated with a Pokemon game. So for those of you that don't know, last generation, Generation 6, the Pokemon games went fully, for the most part, immersively three-dimensional. So, which was a big step up from the past 5 gens where everything was 2D with a little bit of 3D enhanced back sprites and stuff like that. But for the most part, everything stayed 2-dimensional, aside from some of the overworld. And now they moved into the 3-dimensional world, and they just keep going even further. So, for the most part, I'm a big Pokemon fan. I love Pokemon a lot, and I've always trusted the Pokemon company to put out a good product because they haven't really disappointed when it comes to main series games. Sure, maybe you had a mishap with one of the GameCube games and Pokemon Battle Revolution, but for the most part, when it comes to the core concepts of catching, battling, training, trading, and collecting them all, Pokemon has done a great job time and time again of always emphasizing those points and always bringing a new and cooler aspect to those points to the next game. You know, whether it was abilities, EVs, IVs, going fully 3D, Mega Evolution, you know, new evolutions, stuff like that. Always been great. So this new information we have here is honestly, it's like the revamping the formula. So the region is called the Alolan region, and what they have done is kind of like what they did in Diamond and Pearl. Shout out my boy Joey Pokemon for making this point. It's kind of like the east and west side of the Gastrodon, in the sense that it looks different, but in the Alolan region, these new Pokemon, or these old Pokemon such as Exeggutor, Vulpix, and Sandslash, and Ninetales, have created completely new forms. So they've adapted to a new region, kind of like how animals do in the real world, and they've gained new types. So for example, Exeggutor is Grass Dragon, Vulpix and Ninetales are Ice and then Ice Fairy respectively, and Sandshrew and Sandslash are Ice and Steel. So it brings a whole new aspect to Pokemon. It really gives that more of that evolution, the evolution theory that, people and Pokemon do adapt, and they adapt to their environment, and they become stronger, and, they do what they have to do to survive. Going forward, we got some new Pokemon, all of which look cool. You can't really tell if a new Pokemon is going to be great or not great until you see all of its stats, you see its abilities, and you see what its potential is in-game, in battle. And so the new Pokemon are cool. I like them a lot. I like their designs. I think one of the new moves, Solar Blade, is going to be a really cool move. It's basically the same thing as Solar Beam, where it's a 2-turn attack, but speculation is that this one is physical. That's fine. I think that's just a great route, You put it on a Power Herb, and, it's a one-time attack. You do it in the sun, you're even more clean. So I don't really see anything around that but I think some of the bigger information comes with these so-called island trials and about the new Z attacks, or Z moves. So let's talk a little bit about the island trials. So it seems to me, and I think the game really emphasizes that, and I'm going to put a link to the current trailer in your description, along with some other links about information, which you can find at cerebi.net, I believe. The Z Trials looks like they're taking an anime approach, where they're going to this orange island, where you travel island to island, and you take on the leader, and that's kind of like your gym. There has been no gyms. We haven't seen any sort of gym leaders. We haven't seen Elite Four. We've seen, powerful trainers, but we haven't really seen, other than that, we also haven't seen a villain, which is going to be something interesting to see going forward. Is there going to be a villain, or what is the main interest in the game? What is every game, you know, you have to move in advance, but what is your incentive to move in advance? And I really think that if anything, they should bring back Team Rocket. I feel like Team Rocket is such a classic villain, and I really believe that if they just stuck with Team Rocket instead of these teams time and time again, they do with every new game, that you would have this really in-depth team who I think they should always come this close to the goal, and then they just fall short, you know, because you foil them, because you're obviously the protagonist. So there's not really too much information we know about these island trials. It seems that at the end, according to the video, you fight this thing called like a totem Pokemon, where the Pokemon native to that island, or is the mascot of the island, I don't really know, gets like a buff of some sort. I don't know how that's gonna work in the meta, in the competitive meta, if that's even gonna be a thing, if that's just a completely like in-game little gimmicky thing. Regardless, I think it's going to be really cool. Even if they take out gyms completely, I think that as long as they give us some sort of progression, and that there's a good level progression, that will be just fine. Going forward, and the last point, that's honestly probably the biggest point, and going to be the most controversial, is this thing called Z moves. Now, for those of you that don't really know, last generation, Pokemon introduced this thing called Mega Evolution. And Mega Evolution is this temporary form of evolution where instead of a held item, a Pokemon holds a Mega Stone, which allows them to reach this new level of power, you know, or whatever. Basically what it is, it's a 100 additional stat points distributed throughout their stats. So sometimes it'll be 15 attack and 15 speed. Sometimes it'll be split throughout defenses. Sometimes they'll take away a stat and add it to another. And a lot of people have been saying that Mega Evolution ruined the competitive meta, because it kind of, there was like this reliance on a Mega Pokemon, or a Mega Pokemon was able to sweep through teams or something like that. They were a little overpowered. I don't think that way. I think like Pokemon were fun, and they're really fun to use, but I can understand why the Pokemon Company is, if anything, withholding Mega information, because there seems to be a lot of pressure on them to create a new, like, just like creating new Pokemon themselves, there's a lot of pressure to create additional Mega Pokemon, and it's not realistic for every Pokemon to have a Mega. That just wouldn't make any sense. Why? If you gave all 721 and growing Mega Evolutions, like, some would just completely go down in viability, and others, the Mega Evolution wouldn't even be used. So I don't think it was a realistic idea for them to introduce Mega Evolution and then give it to some like completely random Pokemon like Audino. Audino was a really random Pokemon to get a Mega. I can understand the starters, and I can understand, you know, legendary Pokemon, but I think they went on this route where they felt like they needed Mega Evolution, but because it was such a popular concept that was introduced, obviously you're going to get a lot of public opinion saying, give this so-and-so a Mega. I think everyone's heard Mega Flygon. And so, you know, in this next generation, up until this point, we haven't heard anything. We still haven't heard anything. And what we have heard, though, is this thing called Z moves. And Z moves, as me and my friend were speculating an hour ago or so, it seems to be like this like overpowered one-hit KO move. I don't know if it's one-hit KO move, but I don't really know yet what it's gonna be. It looks cool, but they haven't explained how you get it, why you're doing a dance. You know, does it replace a move? Is it just like Mega Evolution, where at the bottom you're gonna have a thing, it's called the Z move, and you get to do it? You know, what are the repercussions? Like, is it a one-time thing? So, you know, if you saved your Z move into the end of battle, do you get to use it there? Is it a one-hit KO move? If two Pokemon have saved their Z move, is it just like a finishing move? Does it have any sort of priority? You know, what are the repercussions of using it? I know it's like Mega Evolution, where it's a one-time only thing, but I don't know. We don't know. So I think that's definitely something to think about going forward. Is how is the Pokemon Company going to bring all of these concepts together and create a cohesive game? Are they going to flunder? You know? Is it going to work? I don't know. I'm excited. Big Pokemon fan. You know, I'm going to link the description down below. I'm going to link my Twitter name and my Instagram. Let me know how you feel about the video. Let me know if you play Pokemon. Let me know about, you know, your thoughts on Sun and Moon. And let me know what you think about me and the channel. I'm trying to grow. And so I'm also going to leave my blog down in the description. Read that up. It's going to be a little bit of a complimentary piece to this video going up. So let me know how I'm doing on YouTube. And I hope to see you guys on Tuesday for Cheap Movie Tuesday review. Take care.